I really hate dojo busters or people who want to go around and challenge other dojos. I really hate people like that. It was a posting in one of the Yahoo groups I'm in, not Yahoo, good grief, Facebook groups that I'm in, that made me think about this. And I told a couple of stories I had with people that try to, I never had really too many blatant challenges or anything like that. So just people that have come through and tried to not necessarily challenge me, but even if I was at a class where they come and try the people in the class because they think they can just beat us up, it just really annoys me when people do that. And now there was one group of guys that I eventually met, and it didn't happen when I was with them, but they used to actually deal with people who would come in off the street and want to fight, quote unquote, for real. And of course they beat the guys up. I hate people like that. And I hate people like that for one reason. And it's a selfish reason. It's because people like that are why my mother took me out of the martial arts when I was a kid. Now granted, one of the guys I was studying with at the time, first of all, he got locked up. And then I had ended up with another teacher who was he didn't get locked up. But when push came to shove, and first I actually believed my mother. She said, "Oh, we just don't have the money for it because of my medication." But she'd always been on medication, and I honestly don't really think that's it, because she said, "Hey, I just don't want you going up to that class where they're walking in off the street and fighting people." So she just let it go. And because I especially being a parent, I know that if it was possible, she probably would have made other kind of arrangements. Come to find out, there technically was other arrangements she could have made, because I have a cousin that's like a grandmaster. I didn't know that at the time. I could have went to him if she, really felt like it was worth my time. She probably would have just found a way for me to get to him, and they could have worked out some kind of prorated payment or something like that. So the real reason was because after she'd heard about that, with people walking in off the street, fighting people, it was like enough's enough. Forget it. He can fight good enough. And I had gotten into some fights and stuff, and the little bit that I knew at the time, kept me from having to be hospitalized. And made it so I could protect myself. So fine. And my grades came up, which was supposed to be a side effect from training. My grades came up too, which was fine. I got in better shape, which was a side effect from training. Fine. I'm thinking from her point of view, she probably felt like, well, he got what I want him to get out of it. He doesn't feel the need to have to fight people anymore. He's finally realizing fighting is not the only answer to everything. He talks his way out of stuff now because he doesn't feel like he has to, prove anything. So I can see from her standpoint, especially if there were any medical costs, why stretch the budget? Why stretch the budget? He's doing better. He's not getting in trouble. He's listening to me. He's more respectful. He's being a better teenager. He don't need to go. He got what he needs from karate. He's done. And she kept saying little things like, now I know why she said it. She's like, well, if you really want to do it, you can grow up and get a job, pay for it yourself. And because the thing that broke the camel's back, the straw that broke the camel's back, was people walking into that class challenging people. I don't even blame the people that took the challenges. I don't. When you do stuff like that, you ruin it for other people. You all you're thinking about at the time, you think you want to walk up because you feel some style of school is fake, right? You want to show people what's quote unquote real. And you're not going about it the right way. Here is my, you could say, what the heck? I'll put my brand out there. The approved Cecil Ryu way of challenging and busting a dojo, to prove that it is garbage, with a short-term solution, not going out and taking going through the actual act of becoming a better instructor yourself, or building a better style or school yourself. Since you can't do that, if your style, or if you are really better than these other people, go compete against them in their own thing. Meaning, if you feel like Taekwondo sucks that so much and you want to prove how much it sucks against a Taekwondo school that you feel is sucky, you get them or the best of them to meet you at a Taekwondo tournament and you beat them at the Taekwondo tournament. Then you will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that they suck, because you beat them at their own game. They should be able to beat you at their game, right? And that way it's done where it's safe and everybody gets to go home without anybody dying or ended up in the hospital, usually. Same thing for judo. If you feel like their judo sucks so bad, and I know you can do this in our town, go join the USJF or USJA, whatever governing body there is for judo. You know, you can sign yourself up as an independent player or whatever, right? And then go to the judo tournament, put on a black belt. Now, don't go beating their Mudansha. No, don't go beating their underranks. Stop using technical terms. Don't go beating their underranks now. No, you go up there and you go against their black belt competitors who are in their prime and beat them at judo. That way everybody gets to come home, you know, safe and sound, a few bruises or whatever. I like to claim boxing as an influence too, so if you feel like the school that you don't like or whatever, get their people to come meet you in a boxing tournament. A sanctioned, not one of these backyard things, a sanctioned, approved, where everybody's got to get drug tested and you got to get a medical exam and you have to be in the right you got to all be in the right weight class and all like that. That's what you do, you know. Beat them in boxing. If it's a kung fu school you've got your eye on, go to the next kung fu tournament or open circuit tournament that they're going to be at and beat them. That way you prove that their kung fu is not as good as your kung fu. Otherwise, what you're doing is acting like some kind of psychotic hoodlum, and you're just ruining the reputation of the martial arts. And really, you're ruining the reputation of whatever style that you claim to be better than the style that you're targeting. And all you do is make people who are like my mother was, God rest her soul, because she's passed on. You make people like her want to snatch their kids out of martial arts because they think it's a bunch of hoodlums. You know, and I can finally say that I guess I am about the age that she was at the time, right? I'm about the age that she was. I can see why she yanked me out. I can see why she threw every excuse she had to not put me back in that stuff. Why? Why, when she was getting all the benefits without having a heartache of me going up there? And do you know what really pissed me off? And this was something she told me later. One of the reasons why I did not get my driver's license while I was in high school was because, I didn't even know about this class. I don't know how she found out about it, but she found out about it. One of the reasons why I did not get my driver's license to be able to drive independently is because she didn't want me to borrow the car to drive up there to try to get in a fight. Now, you can try to twist it and say, well, that was a reflection on you if she was worried about you going up there and fighting. No. It didn't necessarily have to be me going up there to pick a fight. Just me going up there and being in that environment would be bad. Me driving up to that class where people walking off the street to do that would be a bad idea. And I probably would have joined that class because they were teaching the style that I was interested in at the time. And I would have went up there. And I wouldn't have been up there going looking for trouble because I didn't know about that. I didn't know it was that particular class. And get this, when I heard other people talking, and I did not know the place, so I didn't put two and two together. When I heard that there was a club that you could walk in off the street and fight people if you wanted to, I thought people were lying to me. I didn't believe it. I heard some kids say something like that. I thought people were lying. So, apparently, Mom, being an adult, put two and two together. Mama said, no, that's it. That's it, you're done. You want to take karate? You practice a little bit that you know, and when you get old enough, you pay for it. I'm done. And of course, you know what happened, right? When the people who ran the building found out what that class was doing, because it was a rec center class, they closed the class. They closed that class down. And you know what else that did to me? That class was close to where I was living when I was old enough to finally pay for lessons myself. And it would have been affordable. And it would have been a really convenient schedule. But guess what? I couldn't take it. Because it was closed. It did not open. I don't think they started that class back up until about 10 years after I had graduated from high school, or something close to that. Unless my dates are off, maybe it was 5, 6, or 7 years, but it was a while. It was long enough for me to forget about it. And then when they started teaching at that location again, word on the street about that had completely died off. Nobody was thinking about it. So when you do stuff like that, the responsible authorities who oversee the situation, all they're going to do is close that business down or that class down. If it was a local gym and there was somebody who was renting space there and you're turning it into some kind of basically darn near fight club, they're going to close it. Responsible people are not going to put up with that. So when you go around dojo busting, you're basically ruining the martial arts for everybody that got some sense. And that's why if you're a dojo buster or you're somebody who likes to go around and issue challenges, I don't like you. I don't like you because somebody like you cost me an opportunity to learn.